Ever since I can remember, my grandfather, Joseph Costa, has never been at a loss for a good story about what it was like to grow up in the Cincinnati area or to raise a family here in Green Hills. I always thought it was a shame that I was the only one who was able to enjoy these stories, so I put a video together to share these stories with you. And I hope you find them as fascinating and as interesting as I do.
I was born Price Hill at St. Lawrence and Rosemont, and at home cost my dad $5 to the doctor who showed up at the house, gave him a glass of wine, some cheese, and $5. And then we moved to West A Street, directly opposite from Rosemont. And when I was a kid, I used to bum around with a guy a lot older. He kind of took me under his wing, and one day we're back in the woods roaming around and found the guy had hung himself. Now, I don't remember it. I just was told that I was with him because I was only maybe 3 years old at the time, see. So then we moved to 8th and Elbron, and I went to Holy Family School to the 4th grade, and then from the 4th grade through the 7th grade I went to St. William's, and then on through Western Hills, and then to Western Hills High School. It was Depression years, and luckily my dad always could make a buck. He was a tailor and a designer, clothing designer, men's clothes, and we always had something to eat, but not much money to spend. When I went to the show on Sunday with the kids, we'd get a quarter, and it was 15 cents to get in the show, the movies, Sunday afternoon. And next door to the Western Plaza Theater in Price Hill, it's on St. Lawrence corner, no longer exists. The corner does, the theater doesn't. We would go next door to Costa's Delicatessen. There's a Greek candy maker, and for a nickel you'd get a great big apple covered with real caramel for a nickel. So that was our Sunday. I was not a good student, which I'm sorry for today, but I wasn't. And I just, for some reason, couldn't get enthused about school. Shop I liked. The best grades I ever got were in metal shop and electric shop. Always passed that. And the only subject I was good in history was history. And to me, a history book was like a novel. I'd get a new history book and go home and read it, and just be enthralled with it, you know. So even today, I'm full of trivia and history, you know. And we had a car. Probably only 2 or 3 people on that whole street, long straight street, had an automobile. And but parents just didn't run you. You wanted to play baseball, which I played, knothole ball, and it was at Dempsey Park, which is 4 or 5 miles. You walked. Mount Echo Park, you walked. So my childhood, I was not too restricted. I could get by with about anything. 1940, I left high school and went and got a job driving a truck, parts truck for Valley Automotive. And there must have been 40 kids lined up to get that job because it was Depression years. And for some reason, Bill Osterbrock picked me. And just to jump ahead a little bit, years later when I went back to work for him after the war, I asked him why he picked me instead of the 40 other kids lined up for that job. And he said, well, you were the smallest, so I thought you could steal the less. And it's true. So I don't know whether...